Di tengah buat bola wantai tak? Speaker tengah buat lawatan. Oh, tengah lawatan. Buat semua je. Sebelah tengah ada lagi. Testing. 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 Testing.
Background yang intro tu. Tak apalah. Yang mana sekarang? Tapi tu dia nak kena speaker. Mana pun. Terus. Terus. Mana tu kali? Tak senang sebab dia tak tahu. Tapi nanti tak nampak muka orang. Kenapa? Kenapa? Dia share the screen kan? Dia ada prof, he's a prof. Macam mana kita makan? Dia tidur. Dia pun tadi meja tu kosong. Dia
Okay. I mean, I use the. I thought you have this remote. All right, no problem. Okay, no problem.
May I use this one or that one? Just press.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Guaranteed, right?
Yeah, attendance is guaranteed, and the student also in Now it's very rare.
And even non-Muslim Malaysians at that time, Indians,
But now, no,
really.
very rare, very rare. We do
Is
have
it?
some from China and also from Japan.
In Japan even.
We do, but then, no, like very quiet.
I really pity hearing this news. It's, it's UIA is, yeah, used to be very successful. But the story of the idea of Faruqi, yeah,
Faruqi.
Faruqi, is
Faruqi.
intellectual, yeah.
Uh-uh.
He come up
Long,
with
long
this
time
idea,
ago.
exactly.
But it's
He come with this idea that okay, we should,
from Pakistan, is it from
I think from Palestine,
Palestine? Oh,
but he was in US at the time.
we will for more students to show.
Yeah, no problem.
Huh?
No problem. I wish that
You
they
remember
Well, see.
Swahili? If you remember her, Swahili.
Oh, of course.
Swahili.
Oh, yeah. How are you? She's telling me great with the try.
How come? Subhanallah. How are you doing? How's your kids?
Yeah, I agree.
Really?
Yeah, the first one is 12 years old.
All
The
right.
second one is 6 years old.
You are only two.
Yeah, only two.
Colors. I think this is it become like the normal because you see the diet expensive. That would be
52 years.
okay.
So
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good morning. Thank you everyone for joining our seminar for KICT Intellectual Talk Series number 3, 2022 today. Alhamdulillah, today we are blessed with speaker very familiar to all of us, KICT, our former lecturer in KICT, Professor Abdul Majid Hussein. He is from Libya. I will shortly present his profile. Before we start our session, let us recite Ummul Furqan Al-Fatiha. Yeah, Alhamdulillah. Let me read Professor Abdul Majid profile, okay, shortly. Professor Abdul Majid Hussein is a professor of information technology at Sabah University in Libya, where he has been teaching since 2008. He completed his PhD at University Malaya and his Masters of Science in Computer Science at Leeds University. He worked as an assistant professor at KICT RU10 from 2005 to 2007. From 2013 until 2008, he was seconded to the Libyan Embassy in Kuala Lumpur as assistant academic attaché. Professor Abdul Majid is very passionate about teaching and committed to provide students with knowledge and skills they need to succeed in the IT industry. In terms of research, his research interests lie in the area of software engineering, ranging from requirements engineering to interaction design. At the national level, he has collaborated actively in many national committees for quality improvement of IT education. He has served on the National Executive Committee for redesigning the information technology curriculum of national secondary schools, and he co-authored IT textbooks for secondary schools. Abdul Majid is an avid writer who has already published 2 books on software engineering and software modeling using UML. MashaAllah, Prof. He is also currently working on 2 novels.
That's the other side.
All right, thank you for joining our session today. Now I pass the floor to you. Oh, Abdul Majid.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Salam.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sarima, for this introduction. And thank you for to the audience. I mean, thank the audience for coming to attend my my seminar about using ChatGPT for requirement elicitation. Okay, I was expecting that some people, they might come from a different background where they don't know what artificial intelligence really is. So that's why I put this slide. And maybe some of the people who are attending this seminar remotely, they are not aware of AI, though it's very hard right now to say that nobody knows about AI. Everybody's talking about the AI, the news, TV channels, films, everybody's talking about AI. And especially after the introduction of the ChatGPT, everybody's very passionate about it in all kinds of tasks, either in education or entertainment or whatever. So artificial intelligence, basically, it is the human initiative to develop systems or machines that could behave in a similar way, like humans, so that it can do small things. Initially, people at that time were very ambitious that AI will lead us to, well, greater advances. But at one point, it seems like in the 19th, and exactly, yes, it seems like among the AI researchers and intellectuals that AI is not going to deliver all that kind of colorful promises it gave in the first place. But recently, the advances in AI. Can I mute? I can hear myself again here. Yeah, I
It's
kind of interfere.
echoing.
Can I mute my echo? I can hear my echo here. So
It's echoing because of the speaker.
yeah. So now recently, it's almost as very passionate about AI, and even some people are really worrying that where AI is really leading us to. Sorry. Because instead of just helping the humans in doing small tasks, now what we are seeing after the introduction of ChatGPT, it seems like it's not going to be just small tasks. It will even what do you call? We are moving to be, I mean, as humans, right? We are moving to be the second most intelligent creatures on Earth, because historically humans are the most intelligent ones. Right now, with the advances that we see through ChatGPT and other AI tools, we are really moving. We are really surrendering our historical capabilities so that machines and AI are doing the stuff on our behalf. This is okay to some extent, but again, there are some risks, and that's why with this new wave of AI, at least from the 2022, so people become very, I mean, two parts of people. Those who are very optimistic about AI and the way it's going to change our lives in a better way, and doing things easily, doing many things on our behalf, for example. And now for the other days, I was just looking for AI apps to postgraduate students. From what I see, the kind of AI apps, I think if I am to be the first year PhD student right now, I would definitely finish my PhD not more than 2 years, because many hard tasks that we used to spend a lot of time doing, summarizing, for example, writing, reading, even now it is just like this. You just upload the paper, for example, to the app and say, okay, summarize this. It gives you the summary. But previously, we used to have to read the paper from first page to the last, so that we can decide whether this is beneficial to us or not. Anyway, so that's the side of people who are really thinking AI is going to make our lives better. But at the other side, some people are warning. There's one big fan of AI, Dr. Mo Jawdad. He said AI is going to bring damage to the humankind. It is even more than climate change, because of the new capabilities of AI systems and AI applications. So this camp, at least, they said there is a possibility of AI surpassing human intelligence in certain areas, and which is really abnormal kind of. So even in Al-Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he made the humans who are the mastering, right? But with this kind of intervention from the systems, right, even this role is really being threatened. Especially if we apply these AI tools and techniques and things like the making warfare. Again, the spread of misinformation, defaming the people, because the problem with like ChatGPT, for example, it adopts reinforcing learning, whereby you can challenge, and it changes its beliefs. based on the answers from the human askers. These two prominent AI researchers or developers, okay, because some people they say, oh, that's a human tendency to say, oh, this anything new is bad for us. This is very human thing. We feel very fearful about any new thing, all right? That's very natural. But when the warning comes from very prominent AI researchers, then we have to stand and listen, right? So when these two prominent intellectuals, AI intellectuals, they quit Google, which is the biggest company that invests in AI. Both of them, they quit it straight away, warning that we are heading to a very unclear future based on our heavy reliance on AI stuff. So now for Mo Jawdat, for example, he said, we told them before, don't put them, I mean the AI stuff, don't put them on the internet until we solve the control problem, because it become uncontrollable. I remember when the first time I studied AI in 1992, one of the features that AI described as lacking at that time, that it doesn't have the feature of intentionality. It only obey our orders through decoding, right? But right now, it has a kind of intentionality as well. Even Jeffrey Hinton, in one of the interviews, he was told, do you think ChatGPT understand? He said, starting from ChatGPT 4, yes. Maybe ChatGPT 3 is really not. But ChatGPT 4 and above, they think he said, in 5 years' time, yes, we're going to have ChatGPT would understand. Which is really very, it's actually an existential threat to humankind. I don't want to say that all this stuff about AI and ChatGPT is not useful. But again, we have to take this in consideration when we are dealing with this technology. So for Jeffrey Hinton, who's called the godfather of AI, he too quitted Google for the same reason. He said Google is going, well, he didn't mention it explicitly like this because he can't say that, but he simply said, well, I want to be free. I don't want to influence the Google business. But everybody knows that he reached a point that we are heading to very unclear kind of future. It's really threatening. I believe that, yes, that's what he said. I believe ChatGPT understand. He said explicitly in one of the interviews I attended already. Okay, what about ChatGPT? We move away from intimidating people about what ChatGPT might do. Anyway, so for ChatGPT, it is launched in November 2022. It's created by a company called OpenAI, which is a kind of research company. It's natural language processing tool. So, and you can underline this, natural language processing tool. You might ask, what's the relation between natural language processing and requirement elicitation? Because requirement elicitation, when we look at it, is it a technical topic? It's not really completely technical topic. It's more or less a language exercise because we are communicating with the users in order to elicit the kind of requirement which is clear enough, complete, concise, everything. And all these features, it can only be realized through the language. And for the ChatGPT, it's they describe it as a large language model where we can use this very large model to derive any kind of ideation. We can look for ideas in our approach to elicit any requirements of any specific application. So it's a natural language process driven by AI technology that allows us to have human-like conversation. So we prompt and it answer. There's no, personally, I almost disconnect myself from using the normal Google search. I go straight away to ChatGPT, so I can even ask him more like human conversation. So it's part of it's part of a new wave of AI tools that are making impacts on the world and changing the way we work and find information. Yesterday I was going to one of the airlines. I don't know where's their office here in KL. That's straight away. I said, what is the nearest LRT station to this particular airline? Straight away, go to Dangwangi. go. Yeah, this is something really something new for us. Okay, in terms of using ChatGPT, so now we have the free version, which is available to the people. Though it is, I mean, the data they said it is up to 2021, right? This is the most recent data that can handle or reason from. But they have the subscription version which is more intelligent than the freely available one. But again, with all this fascination with using ChatGPT and inquiring about almost everything, and we can engage with it, as you're going to see later on, okay? We can engage with it because we can challenge it. No, it is not like that. What about, what if? And it keeps responding. Because it has limitations. Not always the kind of answers we receive from ChatGPT is really accurate. And we should consider this as very normal. Even human beings sometimes, I mean, do inaccurate things. But where ChatGPT learns from, how ChatGPT is really capable of answering about almost any kind of question. Okay, as part of building the ChatGPT, so all kinds of digital knowledge available on the internet is part of the ChatGPT input in any kind of information or data, be it in the form of books, encyclopedias, works, novels, everything, database, for example, okay, any recording, songs, or films, anything, photos, images, because now they can search through images as well, not only textual kind of inquiry. So having all this huge, massive data, ChatGPT was able to make a very huge network of connections between the relevant data, whether it is manifested in a text form or in an image form or in audio or video. All are connected. And through this very hard, very immense kind of language model, it can easily bring you very important data, of course, with the margin of incorrect ones. What kind of ChatGPT that anyone can use to exercise at least, or to practice and exercise ChatGPT? You can actually now there are many, but at least the most famous ones right now, ChatGPT, Bard from Google, Bing from Microsoft, and boy, for myself, I rely a lot on Bing. I don't know. I found this is not a what do you call it, promotion, but based on my experience, sometimes I give the same prompt to different chatbots. I receive a different. Sometimes, some of them, they say, no, we are not really aware of exactly what you want. Others, no, are different. So that's why, I mean, for myself, I found things very, very useful in this. And it is the one which I used for the example anyway. So that's how it works. It's a pre-trained on massive statistical parameters. That's why the statistical modeling is very, very important topic for AI and data science. Yeah, to examine the gigantic quantity of text. So having these connections, and again, maybe I explained in a simple way, even among the humans, right? How we differentiate between humans, literate one and illiterate one, less literate, for example. It's because of the kind or the size of exposure they had, what they read, what they see, what they listen. So that's what makes you able to communicate and talk, because of the exposure you had. Okay, for those who only have very small exposure, they don't read much, they don't watch much. Usually, they are not capable of answering many things, even related to their subject. Sometimes, yeah. So this is the case with ChatGPT. So just imagine you have, as a human, for example, just imagine you can remember all types of information you studied either in the school or you heard from your friends. Or we cannot, of course, we have limited capability. Biologically, we have the capability, but cognitive, from the cognitive point of view, we cannot, because we forget sometimes. It generates text based on its analysis of previously written and available discourse, as I presented earlier. But it's important to note that while ChatGPT is not, it is not always accurate, as I will see right now. Sometimes it gives false information. So some people, they say like this: ChatGPT might be much more beneficial for our generation than the future generations, because we studied in a hard way. So when we find this technology, it's very useful for us, make things easy for us. Yeah, but for the future generation, the way they learn, the way they study, it's gonna be much more different, because they learn it the easy way, not the hard way. So some people, they say, well, they might simply just follow ChatGPT stuff in a slavish way. They cannot really challenge it. That's true. That's true. That's true. Its responses, sorry, are based on patterns. It's not based on facts, and that's why one shouldn't say ChatGPT is stupid, because it doesn't reason based on facts or data. It just see the patterns. It's recommended to use ChatGPT as a source of idea. This is in our topic today. So we use ChatGPT as a supporting tool. We do not really rely. We do not just ask ChatGPT, hey, give me the requirement list of this particular application. Then you send it to the program and do it straight away. That's really very stupid. Okay, it suggests these are the kind of requirements that would be good for this e-learning, for example, application, or e-commerce, or any kind of application. But again, we have to intervene and see and check and engage with it again. So what is the benefits of ChatGPT to requirement elicitation? As I said earlier, requirement elicitation is extensively rely on communication, or communicating with the users and other stakeholders, so that we can compose the requirement list. So this is very compatible with the capabilities that ChatGPT is offering. It's all about the language. Yeah. How can we conclude requirements which are unambiguous, complete, precise, measurable, testable, etc. For this reason, I would say it might even become an essential part of the life cycle of requirement engineering. It's not going to be optional kind of thing as part of that life cycle. So the language play a major role in realizing quality requirement elicitations. What are the quality requirements? Those who are which are not unambiguous, sorry, concise, consistent, accurate, complete, measurable. You can even ask ChatGPT, is this measurable? It can reply, yeah. Is this and sometimes you can say, okay, can you elaborate a little bit on this? I mean, as part of the answer, you can question. And this is one of the features which is really marvelous, but at the same time, it is really threatening. ChatGPT follow what they call reinforced learning. So it's not static. When you challenge it, when you critique what it advises you to do, it revisit the algorithm again. When you correct the ChatGPT output, right? It goes back, it changed the weights. So next time it will not answer the same thing, which is called reinforced learning. But reinforced learning, I mean, at least those people who are very pessimist about this issue, they said, okay, when we employ reinforced learning, so it might change its beliefs, huh? In terms of what to do, especially when we think of very critical kind of applications, because it might act upon the result after the result of reinforced exercise, and nobody knows what might happen later. Okay, how can we use ChatGPT in this exercise of requirement elicitation? We have two strategies. Okay, and I will show you only one of it. One strategy is like that. We go and do this exercise the conventional way, i.e., we go and interview the users, read about this application in literature or manuals or documents or everything, the normal way of requirement elicitation. After we prepare this requirement list in a normal way, then we go to ChatGPT to check it. It will reply you. And then you have to engage with the ChatGPT. For example, what it says. For example, okay, if we are developing e-learning application as part of any education program in Malaysian university, for example, all right? We have what we call stakeholders requirement. It could be Lembaga Akreditasi Malaysia, right? Correct. the National Agency for Quality Assurance, like for example in Libya, our National Agency for Quality Assurance, we do not recognize online programs. Yes. So this one, the requirement engineer, they might overlook this. So ChatGPT can advise. You know, oh, there's a contradiction. You cannot do this because blah blah blah. So what we do, we give it to ChatGPT. ChatGPT revise, enhance, because that's what I said earlier. It is a supporting tool. It's not going to do the exercise on our behalf as requirement engineers, but it really give us the opportunity to validate, to enhance, to give suggestions about certain things. The another strategy is the opposite way. The another strategy is we engage straight away. I mean, for the requirement engineers, they engage straight away with ChatGPT. Later on, we validate with the human users. And at this point, I remember in 1992 when I was doing my master's at Leeds University at that time. I remember our professor, he gave us an assignment. It was a software engineering subject. So he gave us an assignment saying that, what's your reflection on the vision of developing a userless application in terms of the requirement gathering, because he taught us about the challenges of communicating with the users, whether they are reluctant to cooperate or they want to falsify, or it's really big human challenge, as you know. He said, okay, what about if we think of userless application, userless in terms of we don't want to engage with users in order to determine the requirements of that application. It was really a paradox. I mean, how come we develop a software without engaging the users? Okay, I can't remember exactly what I wrote in that assignment, all right? But the moment I heard about ChatGPT, I said, oh my goodness, was he inciting ChatGPT? Now, yes, it is possible, but we cannot eliminate users entirely, right? But we can engage them later on. We start ourselves with the ChatGPT as an requirement engineer. Then we just go to them and we double check with them. They might correct something, and I'm sure sometimes even they are not capable of eliciting this kind of application. I mean, the user side. This is the second strategy, as I will show you later. So these are the stages. So for the first scenario, so we define the context again. This is something very, 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 very essential in dealing with ChatGPT. ChatGPT, you have to inquire it or prompt it with the context. Otherwise, you're gonna get lost. Yes, you have to deal with it like if you are communicating with younger boys. You shouldn't presume things. So you have to say, I mean, for example, right, as the example I mentioned a few minutes earlier, sorry, the e-learning application. For example, as part of developing, what do you call? As part of developing remote education in a program for software engineering, any program. So this as part of the e-learning application or remote, education. So this is contextualizing. You are giving it some kind of guidance, so it doesn't bring anything not related to this. So this is very essential in inquiring ChatGPT. You have to write the prompt in a contextualized way. Otherwise, you're gonna receive rubbish sometimes. Yeah. So we define the context, then we prepare the prompt. And right now, maybe some of you hear of a new hot topic, they call it prompt engineering. Because dealing with ChatGPT, it's not just writing, I mean, communicating with the humans. You have to compose the right prompt which is understandable by ChatGPT, so that you won't get lost. Yeah. So we prepare and use the prompt. After that, after we get the answer, the less we engage, we ask, we challenge, and it interacts, by the way. Yeah. Then we review and enhance the requirements. After that, we validate with users. So users are here. After that, after the validation with users, then we go to document the requests. The second strategy, this is the what is this? Oh, unstable. So we list the requirements as usual. We engage with the human users. We read about it, any documents, any manuals, any policies, anything as an input. After we compose the list of requirements in the normal way, then we upload it to ChatGPT. So the opposite way. We upload it to ChatGPT. It gives us the answers. Then we engage with ChatGPT. Then we review. Then we validate with the user and record the responses. How long am I expected to?
1 hour. You have another 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay, that's fair enough. So for the requirement classification, this is just an introduction. It's not really very essential. I mean, the kind of requirements. So we have the stakeholder requirements, we have business requirements, we have transition requirement, which is also one of the kind of requirements that was overlooked, because you might develop a very good application, but in terms of the transition from the old system to the new system, there might be some factors that make that very fantastic application is not workable. It could be due to a human kind of resistance or whatever. So you have to take it in consideration before that. These are the transition. These are the things we have to take in consideration, so that the transition is going to be very smoothly from the old to the new system. Then we have the solution requirements, which is the very typical requirements, the functional and non-functional requirements as you study in software engineering. The solution requirements, we have the functional and non-functional, and I think when they say 49% of the faulty applications were because of the requirement, problems with the requirement engineering exercise. Because people use, historically at least, they mainly focus on solution requirements. They overlook other kinds of requirements. Okay, now we come to the interesting, the exercise. How we exercise, how we engage with ChatGPT for the requirement elicitation. So suppose we want to do the requirement elicitation of e-commerce platform that links between wholesalers and retailers, because e-commerce, it might not engage with you, but this is the example that I want to use. I ran this last night anyway. So that flow chart or that workflow, the first step is to define the context. Okay. Now I said it's an e-commerce platform that make the links between retailers and wholesalers. So let us try to contemplate what are the context of this application before we try to compile the requirements. Okay, what kind of e-commerce? Is it very normal? Is it very special? Is it what kind of stakeholders as part of this application domain, for example? What degree of clearness and completeness sought in the this? Sometimes there are certain features we want to emphasize. For example, if it's a safety critical application, then we have to emphasize this feature as part of prompting or engaging with ChatGPT. What measurable factors need to be incorporated? Because sometimes, humans usually sometimes they compile requirements which are not measurable. We can ask ChatGPT, is this measurable, as I mentioned earlier? Yeah. Or it might even suggest any, by the way. Is there any technical or social restrictions need to be considered, for example? These are the within this framework, then we can write the prompt, because as I said, writing the kind of prompt is very important, so that ChatGPT can be very, very beneficial to you, either in this application domain or different one. Okay, step 2 is prepare and use the prompt. So from the step 1, we contextualize, right? That it connects these different colors. At least I want to highlight the elements in this context. The application connects wholesalers with retailers, because not all e-commerce applications do this kind of connection. Look at this. Act as a software engineer. Again, this is part of the context that we want to employ, because I can change this. It might not be from the perspective of the software engineer. It could be from the perspective of the management side, because even business managers also very careful about the requirements, right? So I can say from the perspective of the top management, then it will give us a different kind of response. One might say, why not we just provide ChatGPT with very comprehensive one, so it can give us all the perspectives are included. This is the weakness of ChatGPT. This is the weakness of ChatGPT. You have to chunk it, okay, every time you do from different perspective. Then later on you can compile. And provide a list of functional requirement. Again, this is a context. I might say non-functional requirement. We cannot just say all in one in the prompt itself. Okay, to present the needs of stakeholders clearly, also part of the context. And you can highlight, as I said, any very specific feature, you should highlight it. Okay, don't presume that it will take it in consideration. From the perspective of the retailer, and then you can repeat the same thing from the perspective of the retailer. Later on, you ask from the perspective of the wholesalers, for example, from the perspective of the normal buyers, for example. Every time we change the context, then we receive a difference. So I used Bing, Microsoft Bing. I put this prompt. Okay, maybe here it's not very clear, but it's the same. Oh, okay, it's recognizable. I thought it's not going to be recognized. That's why I repeated there, but using the colors as well. So I prompted ChatGPT with this prompt. That's what it gave me. Catalog, product catalog management. Retailers should be able, blah, 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 blah. In terms of order management, retailers should be able to place orders of products they want to purchase from wholesalers. For example, payment management. Retailers should be able to make payments for their orders using various payment methods, for example. Okay, I can tell you one thing. Last week I was preparing this exercise. Last week, as part of this one, the payment management, okay, it only gave me payment of their orders using various payment methods. Stop. This one ambiguous. But maybe because somebody else inquired what kind of payment methods, so it reinforced its learning. So it's for the first time ever, okay, machines can learn and unlearn itself, which is a human capacity. I mean, at least historically. So it gave me this is the same. I just wrote it down because I thought that one is not clear. Okay. Then we need to engage. We do not just accept whatever it suggests. What are the non-functional requirements of the above case? Above case, that means the above functional requirements. Still remember the previous one, all right? Straight away, it will give me the so the non-functional requirements are, okay, performance-wise, the platform should be able to handle large number of users, blah, 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 scalability, security, reliability, usability, accessibility, compatibility. Straight away it answer me the non-functional requirements. This is the same one, but just the text. Okay, if you remember the last slide, okay, as part of the payment management, it gave me this. Retailers should be able to make payment for their orders using various payment methods such as credit cards, debit cards, and online payment systems. That's it. For as part of reviewing what it says, okay, I felt like, okay, I need to ask another problem. Then I asked again, are there any payment options that can be used as well? Okay, in addition to the payment methods it suggested already. Straight away, it responded. It gave me this. Yeah, yes, there are several other payment options that can be for an e-commerce platform that connects wholesale, and it gave me the options. Why it didn't give me this? You know, when I engage with it, yeah, it elaborates. So it gave me this. Here it's more clear. WordPay, PayPal, Square. So as part of these interactions between the requirement engineer with the ChatGPT, I mean, eventually I'm sure from the human perspective, nobody can come up with very exclusive list like this. Even the classification of the requirements, either the functional or non-functional requirements. Look at this prompt. I gave it this prompt. Please rewrite the functional requirements that it gave me earlier, right? Of the target e-commerce environment so that it become clearer, unambiguous, traceable, testable. As if you are talking to a human. Actually, you are talking with a robot. So I put forward this prompt, and straight away it gave me its answer. Notes previously for each one, the seven kind of requirements, all right? It expanded the paragraph. I mean, the previous one was, I think, 3 lines maybe. Check. Previously, look at it, it's a shorter one. But now it expanded because I told it to be more clear, right? Unambiguous. So it explain more, trying to avoid these kind of things that I wanted to get rid of. So this is the answer when I told it to expand it, make it clearer, make it more concise, for example. Lastly, I said, okay, please provide the SRS document of this requirement list. Something really was imaginable previously. Yeah. This is the answer. So when I prompted of giving the SRS,
according to which template?
again, you can, yes. SRS, YOML, whatever. All right. Straight away, software requirements specification SR document, and it is very neatly, well organized. This is just part of it's quite a longer one anyway. So that's how it gave me the answer. The introduction, the verbs, the overview, the financial requirements, non-functional requirements. So this exercise show you how, I don't want to say how easy it is, but it's a new thing, a new kind of engagement in doing requirement elicitation with the help of ChatGPT, but it really supports the work of requirement engineers in a very great way. It gives you insights, more insights. You can reply in very specific things. What if? Why not you included blah blah blah, for example? Why? And that's how it. So I really advise those of you who are going to be software engineers or requirement engineers to consider using ChatGPT as part of your toolbox, because it's inevitable, sorry, to not to use it. You can also, I mean, use it for other things as part of the software engineering process, but my example, I gave it mainly on requirement elicitation. I hope I presented to you something new and interesting, at least, and you can explore more about this topic. Thank you very much, anyway.
Thank you very much, Professor Ramadit, for your very interesting sharing. Yeah, now it's open for question and answer session. We also have an online. Is it disconnected?
Yeah, battery.
Okay, we have students from requirements engineering class with us today, and also from blockchain class, Professor Navid. So please, if you have any questions, please put forward your question to our speaker today. Maybe start with the guru.
Thank you very much, Professor, for your elicitation.
My elicitation.
I have a question, and that is, in the context of what ChatGPT can do,
Yeah.
all these AI tools can do, and the way we teach these days, programming classes and programming languages and so on. What is your view on using such tools for students to develop system and so on? They might end up not needing to learn any programming language in future. What is your reaction to that question or statement? Thank you.
I think this is what you are talking, Prof, about is a reality, is a very dark reality, but we have to accept it. It's inevitable. Because right now, they say the kind of software that being developed right now, okay, huge part of that software is written by AI machines, not humans. Because now AI systems, they code. As I mentioned, that's what Mo Gaudet warns. He said, we told them not to make them write code for itself. And now this is a reality. So we might facing what Jordan said, I think during the 70s, yeah, when he wrote a book about the death of American programmer. It seems we are about to face the death of human programmer. Even before this, by the way, I mean, as part of the visual programming, what kind of efforts we are spending as programmers? Not that much. So things are started earlier, in fact. But what's going to be next? Of course, less human intervention in doing these tasks. Because now, Mo said, Mo Gaudet, I mean, we have systems writing code for itself, which is really a problem. And that's why he wants about the control. How can we control? It's good. But if we can control it, that's fine. But if the AI machines have this capability and it is put on the open internet, nobody knows what might happen. But in terms of the software engineers, what I presented today, I don't think this is going to be needy in 10 years' time. Because now people are talking about 2025, yes. It's going to be a paradigm shift in almost everything. And part of it is software engineering process, I mean, and our future as software engineers, yeah. I hope I answered your question.
So we might end up not having any necessity to teach programming languages in future in our curriculum.
Probably, yes.
Probably.
In fact, Prof, there are already good systems out there. For example, our system is one of them. And many organizations in Malaysia are using it. LHDN, Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri, Petronas, they're already using it. And I mean, the way I see this is in future, you need software engineers to define the requirements and to define the architecture and so on. But as far as doing the dirty work of producing lines of code, you leave it to this ChatGPT.
That is something inevitable, Professor. Yes. And that's why these people, they say we are facing existential threat as humans. It's really serious. What to do? I don't know. I heard recently, even now in Britain, yes, the Prime Minister, what kind of initiatives are proposing regarding try to make some kind of policy in order to control what are the researchers are doing in terms of the AI. Yeah, people are calling for this, really.
Any other question? Please. With the Taslim has.
Yeah.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Prof, for such an insightful opening for all of us. I've never used ChatGPT for the purpose of doing elicitation, but I've used it for other purposes. Okay? But the most difficult part is to verify the information. Okay, so for example, if I'm looking for some background information on something, with all the references that were provided by the prompt, all of them were wrong. So I had to find all the references, and I found out this paper was not even existed. So the citations were all wrong, and these are all inaccurate information. So I was like, how many much effort and time I have to verify all this information, and finally left out with nothing because everything is quoted from a wrong source. And my question is that how we can improve this process in terms of verifying this information that is produced from the ChatGPT answers.
As I told you, that's very much expected in a way. I mean, receiving a response with a lot of inaccurate, sometimes even false information sometimes. That's because the way ChatGPT works, as I said, it doesn't reason through the facts or by facts or information. It's through the patterns, that's all. Yeah. But I think as Jeffrey Hinton, yes, he said, initially the free version is totally different, not totally, but very much different than the subscribed one, yes. And again, he said the efforts paid right now to improve exactly the algorithms. We are going to see other versions of ChatGPT, which is really, I don't know, it might even subvert the humans. Yeah. So for me, instead of thinking how we humans can evaluate what ChatGPT is giving us, I think the solution is going to be for ChatGPT people, right? How they can make it reason in a much more smarter way. I think that would be the solution.
I mean, I'm just afraid that,
I'm afraid too.
If users, they are not cautious, they just use all the information from the result and they maybe publish or they send it as assignment, and maybe we don't have the capacity to check everything being submitted to us, and then we take it as information, but it's actually inaccurate information. We are thrown out with lots of information that are false.
That's very much likely, yes. But it's unavoidable, by the way. Unavoidable. We cannot control the morale of the people.
Questions from the students, please, or online participants? From the students, yes.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okay, thank you, Professor. I was his student since before 2008.
Yeah, before that.
So I graduated from this year on 2008, and it's come to this nice building, a nice conference room. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, actually, I'm right now. I'm working in the telecommunication industry. So I'm not going to send a question, but just give me an opinion how we are using this tool in the industry. So basically, my background is I'm working as a solution consultant for the telecommunication industry, where we build a solution for telecom operator and network provider across the world. Okay, so in terms of using our ChatGPT, right now, main use case for us is to basically to prepare the proposal or yes, paper to present to customers, slide and so on, before we engage with the right users to gather more accurate information. Then this is very accurate with the what has been said by Professor on the two-step that we need to either we gather information from the user and modify with ChatGPT, or we question ChatGPT first and verify with the stakeholders. That's correct. And the second thing is how ChatGPT can help us in developing a software or providing a solution. So frequently I use ChatGPT to find a piece of code where I cannot solve myself. For example, sometimes I want to develop a Java component that just to do a piece of code. For example, maybe the client server communication, which it need to envelope in some kind of soft envelope or whatever, which is complex from the user, for example. But it gives us a very almost accurate piece of code. But in terms of knowledge, you still need to have a knowledge of coding and programming, because the answer provided by GPT is a half the truth, because you need to modify a little bit to adapt with your requirement and user requirement. Yes, we can add the GPT to do this small module, but in the end, we have to have a knowledge to combine them into a workable solution.
Very true.
Yeah, very true, very true. Yeah, and this is the best scenario anyway of using ChatGPT. We shouldn't rely on whatever it suggests for us, be it a code or anything, but it make our task easier, right? Like what you said right now. Okay, you get that piece of Java code or whatever, then you enhance it, you change it the way you like it, so you save time, right?
Yeah, for business, time is very important.
Yeah.
So for the common project, if you do the one module for the 1 week, so you can cut the cost of the resource to 1 or 2 days, you can finish the job.
Thank you very much, Malik.
Thank you very much, our former students. Other question, please, our students in this room? No? Brothers, sisters? Do I call your name? And from online participants? Zoom?
I will give questions to Dr. Azleen, so
Oh, okay.
she will put it into exams.
All right, if there is no questions, I think we are at the end of our session. Alhamdulillah. Okay. And I would like to invite Prof. Novik come over to assist us in the token of participation before we take photo session.
Yeah.
Please remain seated, students, and don't forget to take your attendance. Yeah, you will get star
That's very
point.
important, yes. Engage first.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام
كيف
ورحمة
حالك؟ الله يحييك الله يحييك. Thank you, Annie. There's no photographer.
Oh, really? Thank you.
Hang on.
Yes, I left in 2008 actually. What time you came? Which year?
07.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So let's hold again.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Should I take this one off?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Okay, now we
Sorry.
have problem with. All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more. There's another one.
Oh, this one.
From the previous.
MashaAllah. Thank you very much.
Jazakumullah khairan.
Allah يحييك.
1, 2, 3. All right.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Sorry.
Thank you, Professor. Really nice to see you.
Alhamdulillah.
You are attached to which button?
Yes.
But that is,
Sorry.
thank you. That is end of session over the solution of this week for and also. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. And can we have a photo session? Okay. Alaibi.
With all the way.
Yeah,
Yeah, please.
from Alaibi, can assist? Outside ke ramai ni? Huh?
Yeah, from the front, the student distance.
Inside lah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, bro. We're sharing.
Very much appreciated accepting me, giving me this opportunity, really. I feel very delighted.
Better, I have to bring this.
So we can hear, right?